Because he's winning on his computer. All right.
Finally loaded in. In the top right location of Daybreak, we have our sort of home player, our Bay Street TV representative, not really.
Mascot.
He's going to be Empire's BEASTYQT spawning as the Orange Terran.
Yep. You can keep going. Yeah.
It's going to be none other than MTW's Dimaga spawning as the Red Zerg player. And Daybreak, a pretty good map to get started on. A map that we have seen plenty of epic games on in the past. Will we have another one? We shall see. I am looking forward to this show match. As I was saying before the game, we did have our first ever BEASTYQT show match was a ZVT, a TVZ against Slavic, which
was
brought
awesome.
forth many an epic game, and we were the casters for that as well. So we seem to be the ZVT casters for Beastie's show matches.
Yeah, the game on Ohana specifically was like really cool. So
amazing.
I'm sure we'll see many of those today, especially with Daybreak as our starting map. Dimaga likes the late game. Beastie likes the late game. I wouldn't say likes, but he can play a macro game. He seems to be in his element though. Like even against even in CVT, a lot of people complaining about the matchup right now. But Beastie, he doesn't really care.
I'm really looking forward to see if we see seeing whether or not we see some of his awesome mech play that he showed against Slavic going into really fast Sky Terran, which really proved to work with him. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. Always a treat to watch Sky Terran. It's not something you see all that often, especially in this matchup. But Beastie has really found a way to make it work. So
yeah, it seems like
definitely go Ash first.
Yeah, it seems like all of the Empire Terrans are kind of switching back into mech. Cost for a while, always Marine Tank and ZVT, but now he plays mech. He goes for that MVP timing though, where he tries to just delay his Starport tech as long as humanly possible, and I'm going to go ahead and set myself to busy. Alright, there we go. But Beastie, he reminds me of Axlav in his like PBZ, but TVZ. He just goes for 3 base, starts getting Raven tech out ridiculously early to let them build up energy, and behind that goes ahead and takes a 4th base when he has enough tanks. So he just uses them positionally, really doesn't try to hit any timings to punish the Zerg player unless they play overtly greedy. Especially on a map like this, Hellions are so effective because of the different routes that you can take in, whereas like huge pushes across your map leave you very vulnerable to counters, be it Ling or Roach. This Overlord is trying furiously to get away, and it looks like he actually will.
Troll Overlord.
That feels so bad.
Dimaga's smiling right now, probably.
Yeah, probably.
We have a 3rd CC going down for Beastie, though, so Mega Macro Mode is a go.
I like the fact that he put the Overlord out there. I mean, now it can't really get back. It's way too low. Even if it regens a little bit, 1 or 2 Marines that are out should be able to take that off relatively soon. Here comes the double gas behind this.
It's a little risky to even go for that high ground positioning behind the mineral line, just in case there is a Marine lying in wait. So that Overlord's pretty much useless for now.
Yep. I wouldn't even be surprised if after we see the reactor come down to the factory, he lifts the barracks a little bit and tries to pick off that Overlord right up here on the
especially if he is planning on going mech.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, just while we have a little bit more downtime, just to go over the map pool for anybody who is curious, this is our starting map, of course, following which we will have Cloud Kingdom, Entombed Valley, Abyssal City, Metropolis, Ohana, and Antigua. A pretty nicely balanced matchup, I think. Pretty nicely balanced map pool, I think.
I'd hope so. I made it. It's like we're at a point right now. Oh no. We're at a point right now where it's kind of a shame. There hasn't been a great map added to like normal tournament pools, or like even come out in the scene for a while now. Yeah, we have Belshir Vestige and what was the other one? Whirlwind was one of the new maps added, but there were 2 added to
Abyssal?
GSL. No, not Abyssal City, because we have that in the pool.
Yeah.
Not enough people have played on Belshir for me to really get a sense of whether or not it's going to be a great map. But the Kespa, Kespa's actually putting together a bunch of Brood War maps that are going to transition into the next season of Pro League. And if those are awesome, and I do feel that they might be, you can definitely rest assured that they'll appear in these show matches. I've already talked to Beastie about it, and he said he'd be cool with it as long as they look pretty good. pretty good.
A couple of them actually do look very interesting. A couple of them less so. I'm really interested to see how they go about actually transitioning a couple of the Brood War maps they've decided to make into SC2 maps. I'm very interested to see what that works, balance-wise.
I think it's going to be interesting what they do with the gases and the mineral line specifically, because a lot of a big thing in Brood War was actually like mining out, and you don't have all of these like lush 8 mineral patches, 2 Vespene geysers. Taking bases is a lot. I don't want to say it's necessarily more important than it is in SC2. Alright, Dimaga was actually on the phone, I'm hearing from chat, so it's cool.
Boss mode.
This is a rather laid-back show match between the two players. Already up to 4 queens. Dimaga likes his queens. This is... I would not be surprised if after he takes a third we see a couple more. Because he really wants to get the creep spread out early, and I mean he utilizes them for pushes. As long as he has the creep spread like up past this watchtower, you'd be like 99% sure that he's going to bring a couple queens with his first push with either Broodlords or Ultralisks. I'm interested to see what tech choice he goes for on this map if it does indeed get to that point.
Speaking of tech choice, we already have the first very interesting sort of deviation from the norm from BEASTYQT. Rather than going for a reactor, he's gone for a tech lap on that barracks, which he's going to switch over. Which may well be for fast siege mode.
Yeah.
That is exactly what it's going to be
This is something that Bjorn did for like a month or two back in like January, February-ish. It never really caught on. There was a little spur where you saw it, Cass used it a lot, and a couple other Korean Terrans specifically, like some of the B-teamers, like Center, Extreme, some of the like TSL and Center guys.
Did you hear about Center today?
No, what happened? He's
OC'd.
No way.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I'm gonna watch the GSL matches after.
I don't think it was
this
televised.
It had to have been. It might have been the earlier one.
Oh, maybe.
Kode, they have,
they do?
like, for Premier subscribers, they have the first 4 matches and then they have the second 4.
Oh, okay.
For the round of 48.
I watched a couple of the games today. There was a really, really good game between Teja and Dark.
Yeah, I heard that was good. I also heard the Nesty, not Nesty.
Yeah, Nesty.
Nesty? That was a good match.
I didn't actually watch it. But, we have our own little Zerg player playing over on our channel right now, so that should be the focus, I think.
I like this build specifically, like, for this map from Beasty, because the siege positions are great, and as long as you can extend your wall at some point, I mean, he has a really neat bunker placement right here with the 3 supply depots in front of it. The siege tank position there, he's going to have another one, and I'm like 99% sure that we're going to see supply depots in front of this tank as well at some point. Maybe even leading up all the way to the orbital command, and Dimaga does go for the creep block.
BM.
Yeah, unfortunately
there
it
are
doesn't
Marines
get...
there, so the creep doesn't spread too far. Should only last a couple more seconds, but nice little delay.
Certainly. And he gets the scout off on exactly when that does go down as well. He has a couple lings moving out here. Speed has finished at this point.
This could do a little bit to the natural, force it to lift maybe, but I don't really see it doing that much to the main. There is an engineering bay helping to block, as well as full wall with the supply depot, as long as he lifts those in time. But actually he has a lot more lings down to the south as well, so he could go for a bit of a double-pronged attack here.
Yeah. He may even try to get a sandwich.
Beasty's not going Hellions. He's only just now starting Hellions. He's got a 4 out and a couple of tanks, but there's no Hellions. There's nothing to really smash through those massive link numbers. And Dimaga is going to be grabbing a 4th behind this, and a 3rd.
Yeah. I like the fact that he's double expanding. That 3rd was ridiculously delayed. I don't know if he was anticipating some sort of 2-base timing from Beasty, but that's pretty interesting. I mean, his upgrades were... I don't want to say his upgrades were delayed, because he already has 1-1 damn near complete, but... I don't know. His economy took a little bit of a hit, considering that Beastie would get the 3rd base down before his opponent. And I mean, he had that from the get-go, too. He was producing 3 SCVs at a time, dropping 3 meals at a time.
Yeah.
Putting down 3 factories at a time, as we see 3 additional factories coming up. And this will really amp up the Hellion production. He's already getting started on that reactor.
He's actually... Oh, here actually come the links, though, and there are a couple of Hellions out now. He missed the window where there were no Hellions, but not able to do any real damage there. Good defense there by Beastie. And he wasn't really punished for not having the Hellions early on, so he's going to be fine now. He will lose a Hellion to his... No, actually, it gets away. Huh. Hero Hellion. Chuck Norris mode. But as you said, I was just checking the queen count. We do actually see Dimaga. He's been on 7 queens for a while now, so as you said, He really, really likes his queens, and you can tell it with the creep spread. He's really, especially at the bottom, he's advanced it almost halfway across the map.
Yeah. And this is a really strong positioning, too, because you can enter from here, and then maybe come in with a roach or a link counter through either of these two paths to the fourth base as well. A little bit of Hellion on Zergling action.
These Hellions are doing so well. Not a single one goes down, and a lot of Zerglings do.
Nice micro by Beasty.
Really well done. Looking at the units lost, 40 units have gone down for Dimaga. A lot of those were Zerglings just now. Not a single Hellion, so nice trade there by Beasty indeed.
Here we go. Hive is complete now. Spire just about 83 drones actually on the map right now for Dimaga, so he's really looking to saturate those additional bases. I wouldn't be surprised if we could see him get a fifth base as soon as he has the minerals too as well. Obviously start the Greater Spire the second that completes. Beasty working on +2 right now, getting Blue Flame eventually. I'm surprised to see no fourth command center on the way yet, however.
Yeah, especially on this map, since it is the version with only one Vespene Geyser and 6 mineral patches. It is a rich Vespene Geyser, but either way...
Ooh, here come the Infestors, though.
Oh, nice Mongol going down. But is there really anything that deals damage? Here come the Lings.
Here come the Lings.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, the Queen's gonna get out scot-free, too.
Wow.
A lot of Hellions for one Queen there. He did roast a couple Circlings, but a lot stayed alive.
There's the fourth command center.
Yeah.
And Greater Spire is about halfway done. 10 Corruptors on the way. He'll be morphing those into Broodlords as soon as that Greater Spire completes.
Yeah, here comes the 2-2 push. This is a very, very popular timing, whether you're going for Marine Tank or this mech composition.
Time. Jesus Christ. He is going to force a... we will see Dimaga maybe force a cancel on this command center. Absolutely will force a cancel on it. No cancel. Does get the kill. But this 2-2 push is not turning around.
Beasty is pulling back with a couple Hellions, but he's continued on into Dimaga's fourth base. A couple Lings do get into the main, but they die almost instantly as a rally of Thors and Hellions come out right out of the factories.
We did see 16 workers go down for Beasty there, so a nice run by Dimaga, but
Dimaga has nothing. He has 5 Infestors on the map right now. Those are his attacking.
He has 9 Lords on the way, which may well help.
Yeah.
But is there enough anti-air here? There are 5 Thors, but even with 2-2, I'm not sure if that's going to be enough if they can't get in range. But here come the Hellions moving into the natural mineral line. These will be able to do a lot of BBQ action. And those drones are going down, more than making up the run by that Dimaga.
And they're forcing the Infestors and the Lings back, so Beasty's going to get another base out of this, and most likely the 5th as well. And if he can get out of here with at least the Thors, he's going to be in a very good spot. He does need to start producing additional Star Force to get his bite and count up, though.
Infestor Parents going down, and we are going to be seeing Thor volleys onto these Broodlords, but they are so big, Flash Step just really doesn't matter. And this base, I think it will survive, and all of the army for Beasty going down.
Yeah, that's a key victory for Dimaga there. He did lose his 4th base, but he has a 5th coming up behind this. He did lose the Queens and the saturation there. Drones saturating that as well.
But the drones have been remade at this point. Workers killed are pretty even, 18 to 22. But of course, that 4th base did go down. I'm not sure if Beasty got what he wanted to out of this, though. And with these 9 Broodlords on the march...
Here comes 6 Thors, though.
5 Thors. Yeah, there are going to be 6 Thors here. And those are really clumped up Broodlords if you can get a shot off.
Yeah.
Just get one. And it looks like a couple of them are getting very, very low on health. He will turn around and try to engage.
And the Infestors up here are low on energy as well, so they can't really fungal growth all that well. Neural Parasite hasn't been researched yet.
The corruption on the Thors may well turn the tide just enough, but he will lose a lot of his Broodlords here, down to only 4.
Those Broodlords are only 1-2, too. Wow. Meanwhile, drones absolutely destroying the mineral line of the 3rd base here. Every single drone dies, aside from 1. Nope. That goes down 2. And again, with only Lings and these Broodlords to defend, it's so difficult to defend multiple positions on the map. The Lings are really... Oh my god.
Yeah, but that was a great trade for Beasty. And workers killed. We've seen 56 workers killed from him already, and he still has a pretty formidable force on the field with those 5 Thors, producing 2 at a time at this point. I think he... Yeah, actually, whoa, 4 at a time, never mind. And we do see more Broodlords on the way, but with only really 3 bases mining, Dimaga's going to be in a bit of a tough spot to actually make a big Deathball army at this point.
Yeah, killing those drones at the 3rd base was huge. Beasty's really committed to this. He's just remaking his 4th command center that was destroyed by the Link counter oh so long ago. So he really needs to do damage with this. Now trying to recede the creep just a little bit, and he's going to succeed. A lot of the queens died with that early assault, and even more Hellions coming out here to the 5th base, or I guess the new 4th of Dimaga.
We actually only have 4 queens on the map, so there are less queens than hatcheries at this point in time. So it's going to make it a little tough for Dimaga. He does have a lot of Broodlords, though, 9 of Broodlords at the moment, plus 2 about to finish for the Lings and Broodlings.
He is switching into Roaches, though. He does have Gleal Reed Constitution on the way, so that'll definitely help with defending against these Hellions. Going for a push right now, though, and this is...
I'm very surprised we haven't seen Beasty switch into Starports yet. He's just continuing to spam Thors at this point, and they will do the job.
Yeah.
But, oh, hold that thought. Here come more Hellions back towards the 3rd. And there are a few Lings to defend. There's a couple
but not enough.
Down. Will he get the entire mineral line here? These drones are able to burrow, but there is the scan. Beasty paying attention, and the entire army of Dimaga has been forced to turn around to deal with this. Even more drones going down, losing an additional 14 there. And the natural also wide open, taking out a bit of larva there, but here comes the roasty toasty on the mineral line.
70 drones have been killed at this point, now up to 80, as Beasty gets 10 more. Producing 3 tanks to try and zone the infestors, but he's still going for primarily a Thor composition, and he really needs as many Thors as he can possibly freaking get without Viking support. Although we do have 3 starports coming down now, finally.
Dimaga was taken down to 33 workers at that. He's back up to 39 now, but he has almost no income at the moment, compared to BEASTYQT's 54 plus however many orbitals he has, the orbitals. So...
I still think they implemented it in Heart of the Storm, and I keep harping on this, but I'd love a buildings tab. That'd just be that'd be so awesome.
More drones going down at the 3rd. It's really nice, taking out 5 more drones.
I thought the Roaches would be all on top of that. Very nice by BC to get those Hellions in there.
Shout out to G Foxio, who's also watching from Switzerland. I'm Swiss as well.
Nice. Oh.
Now, we do see BC has a great position here. How many Thors does he actually have on the map? 13 Thors! He is finally switching into air, getting +1, Ravens 1 at a time, and Vikings 4 at a time. So he is going to be in a great position to continue dealing with this. The supplies are relatively even, but 50 supply rather for Dimaga is 25 Roaches.
Yeah.
So, is deceiving.
Let's see. These are two Thors as well. We see Dimaga getting +3 melee weapons for his Lings and his Broodlings, and just now starting +1 missile attacks with the Roaches. That he's really relying on now. I mean, he has a lot of supply dedicated to Roaches, and he's still not maxed. Neither player is actually after those like early, very aggressive trades. Now Beasty's moving forward with his tanks to try and kill off these infestors before they can fungal some of the Hellions with the Thors.
He is going to be producing 8 more investors. Looks like he is finally going to get around to getting rid of that gas bank. Going to help quite a bit. We see +3 on the way for Zerg melee attacks, and finally getting around to upgrading +1 Carapace for the Flyers. It is going to do... Oh, it's not going to do that much since it's 2-2 on the Thors, but it will help quite a bit.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Carapace is just... It helps you so much when your opponent's massing Thors. It gets to the point where the Thor Valleys really just do very little damage, because they're Javelin attack. Yeah, they shoot 4 missiles, or 6 missiles at a time. I think it's 4.
We have a couple of incognito investors moving out towards the 3rd base of Beasty. Will they be able to do a bit of damage? One of them does have full energy, the other one pretty close, and he is going to drop a couple of infested terrans to get rid of that missile turret. Maybe paving an escape route, but we see a lot of shift queued infested terrans at the 3rd. He will be dropping a total of 11 of them. This may well...
Bunker immediately getting focus fired, and it's most likely going to go down as well as all of these SCVs.
Yeah, this is a nice attack. Oh, no, the SCVs will get out most of them.
Oh, and the infestors do die, both of them. Sniped by these 3 Thors here.
All of a sudden, this trade not quite as good as it initially looked. The Raven coming to detect and save the day. Those 2 infestors did, of course, as you said, go down. And looking at the resources lost, it's actually relatively even. But the big thing here is that Beasty has had a much better economic position for the majority of the game. And Dimaga was down to 33 workers at one point, and he's still only on 50 at this point in time, and not even maxed.
The first game of any Beasty series is, like, at minimum 30 minutes long.
Yeah, he's playing very passively right now, and it's definitely what he wants to do. He's ahead no point in throwing it away.
Yeah.
Really, the only way Dimaga can get ahead at this point is if Beasty takes a really bad engagement. So he's just completely preventing any opportunity to do that, spreading himself out really well, getting Hunter Seeker Missile now, continuing to make Ravens, continuing to make Vikings. He is max, and he is getting 2-2 for his air as well, so doing great on the upgrades. Plus 2 Carapace on the way for Dimaga's Flyers, though.
You see what else is being researched? We have Neural Parasite and Seeker Missile on the way.
Yes.
Neural will really help against this pure Thor mix. Oh, that's gonna help. Not that much of a missile turret wall in effect right now in the main base of Beasty. I don't think he's going to want to commit like purely to Roach drops. I think that's more of a counter opportunity after a big engagement. So here, Beasty has decided that it's time to move out. And he has all Thors here, which is very, very vulnerable to Neural Parasite.
Neural is not done yet. It's just only 30 seconds away.
Yeah, it takes so long for that to upgrade.
These are very, very clumped as well, so Fungal could even do reasonably well against these.
Yeah.
Neural Parasite, obviously, on if he gets Neural on one of the Thors and those Vikings are clumped, that is going to be huge.
Yeah.
A little bit of a spine wall here. Ooh, he is going to lose a couple of his Roaches for free. That is not ideal at all. Nice spread on the Vikings as well. He's going to be able to move it in. Now, Infested Terrans have gone down, but not enough.
Oh my god!
Seeker Missile taking out everything in the air.
All but 2 of the Broodlords. The remaining get sniped immediately by the Vikings, and he can't position these Infestors in a spot to get that Neural Parasite off.
A couple nice Fungals, but not enough. There's the offensive Mule, dropping even more. Gonna help the deal for repair. But, oh, Neural Parasite does go down on 3 of the Thors.
Oh, right as the Vikings land, so Beasty does not actually have vision immediately. He has to put the Thors up there.
But he does take out those Infestors reasonably quickly. There is no energy left on the Infestors. 4 Infested Terrans is all that stands between Beasty and this base.
Oh my god.
But Beasty will be forced to turn around. A lot of his army did go down, but the big problem now is that there's no bank for Dimaga to remax on.
Yeah, he has 17 Roaches and a single lone Broodlord out of the map right now. And Beasty doing the smart thing after he saw Neural Parasite was researched, getting a couple tanks for the remax. A couple more Hellions in order to buffer would help immensely as well, as we see those in the production queue. Right now, despite being on 3 mining bases, pretty low SCV count, and he really doesn't have a bank of orbitals like usual. I mean, he's sitting at only 3 right now, which is quite a change from general ZBT. This has been a very wonky, like really aggressive back and forth mech game, which you generally don't see all that much.
We are actually also seeing Beasty start to mine out of his third. He's down to only 6 mineral patches there. One of them with only 45 minerals left on it. So he's slowly but surely starting to mine himself out. Mules, of course, do make it so the Terran mine out generally quicker.
Yeah.
Dimaga's still looking relatively okay on his third. It'll last a little while longer. His fourth as well, looking very, very nice. And he's only just now established his fifth. So I think Dimaga's best chance to try to just trade as efficiently as he can, and just maybe eventually Beasty will just starve himself out, because he is slowly but surely going to run out of these minerals.
Yeah, the creep spread is really working for Dimaga right now. Despite the fact that he has no active tumor up on the top of his opponent's fifth base, I mean, there's creep on the planetary there. And this is going to help him not only defend against Hellions in the future, but really make counterattacks once he does have a bank, once he is able to not only max, but throw away a couple roaches here and there.
I like that we're seeing Beasty being a little bit aggressive with the Raven and a couple of Hellions here, getting rid of this creep, because as you said, having that creep spread is going to be so helpful, so cleaning that up is going to be massively helpful
and
as well.
Here come a couple roaches in the main. There aren't missile turrets in position to deal with this. He has 2, but they're pretty far back at this point. Oh, and he's even leading with the ones that are not loaded.
Nicely done. Now, Dimaga cannot really, he can afford to lose these Overlords, but he has to remake a couple of them because he is he doesn't have enough Overlords to get to 200 supply. But these 3 Thors pop out right at the right time. They will be able to deal with these roaches pretty quickly. And not really that much damage dealt.
I like the fact that Beasty scanned there immediately to see if any roaches did burrow that he wasn't aware of. And still continuing on with the Raven Hellion Force, all of the active creep tumors on this side of the map are completely destroyed. And a couple roaches are making their way up there, but there's a planetary here as well as 2 siege tanks.
Yeah, they will not be able to do enough here. And you may be able to get the tank, but that's still not going to be... No! Even pulling SCVs to heal the tank up.
Nice. Sensor tower goes to prevent any future drops.
Dimaga's actually investing a lot of drones and a lot of money into spore crawlers right now, and I'm not sure how much I like that, given that he's not even maxed and doesn't have any semblance of a bank at all.
Yeah.
Even more spore crawlers going up.
It's going to make it a little bit more difficult for Beasty to engage if he does lose his tanks, or just opt to use them positionally back at home, like he did last time. But if their tanks in position to snipe those spores, then the Vikings really care less.
The really great thing for Dimaga right now is his infestor count. He is up to 22 infestors, most of them having pretty much full energy, so if he can take a really cost-efficient engage, a la, I don't know if our viewers saw MLG, for instance, Scarlet versus Bomber. If he can get an engagement like that, where he pretty much trades infested Terrans for the entire army of Beastie, he will be in a relatively good position, and that is always a possibility when you have this many infestors.
Yeah, we do
So don't count him out just yet.
We do have 3-3 just now finishing up, +3 plating for ships and vehicles, but Beastie's gonna opt to move out here, and it looks like he's going straight for the 5th base. Rather positioning the Thors forward to take out this lone creep tumor and that spore crawler there.
A couple of infested Terrans did go down. They will be able to take out this tank.
Oh, he needs to be careful with the Vikings though. The infestors are leaping forward right now to try and bungle that, but
that's a lot of infested Terrans going down, and they are all over the tanks. The tanks are going down pretty quickly to flash damage and the massive DPS of those infested Terrans. Good damage on the tanks, but a good number of them do survive. 5 of them are still there, and they do, of course, have a 3-2 at the moment. Broodlords are going to engage now, but there are still a lot of Vikings, and Ravens with Seeker Missile are there as well. You have to be careful not to clump up these Broodlords.
Going immediately for the Corruptors with the Seeker Missiles.
More infested Terrans going down. Dimaga dropping in supply, but BC is as well, and it looks like with the Neural of the Thor being able to take down a lot of those Vikings, Dimaga will be able to defend this.
That was a great engagement there. Infested Terran's really doing a lot once the siege tank count was destroyed, basically. BC losing everything in that engagement, and that, wow, kind of turned the tables in favor for Dimaga.
Oh, this is great. We've got Dimaga queuing up a hatchery at the bottom, and BC flying a CC over. Who will win the race? Oh, Dimaga's drone died. So
no. Dimaga is grabbing himself a 6th base up in the top position, though. All of the Hellions trying to move into the 4th base there do get cleaned up. Only a few Lings went down. Not the trade that Beastie was looking for. And Beastie's bank is used up at this point. I mean, 700, 500, he's sitting on 120 supply right now. It's very, very difficult for Dimaga with the composition that he has to be able to push into this, especially with the Planetary Fortress there. Beastie actually positioning siege tanks forward to try and take this base. That is still a lot of infestors though, a few with a fair amount of energy left. And even Queen's coming back here.
Yeah.
To start spreading creep yet again.
Dimaga can't really engage all that favorably just yet. At least not without a lot of difficulty, but Beastie's in a pretty awful spot. His Rich Vespine Geyser is mined out. He's mining out of minerals at that expansion. He's down to only 1, 2, 3 active Vespine Geysers, one of which has nothing mining on it and is down to 164 gas. So his gas is drying up very, very quickly.
Oh, a lot of prep is going down here for Dimaga though.
Nice.
Beastie actually deciding to get out of there while he can. Pushing up with 3 tanks and a couple Hellions here, he will be able to clean up these small forces that Dimaga has, and he's forced to move all of his infestors back. So Beastie could use this to try and snipe this base down in the bottom.
A lot of energy going down. Again, this is Dimaga trading energy for units, and this is not something Beastie can afford at the moment. And that's a pretty expensive little force that just went down.
Here comes Beastie. I don't know what he's gonna do with these SCVs. Oh, attack the hatchery, of course.
What, did you run out of Marines?
So there is, I don't want to say a ghost switch, but he is adding ghost tech on the way. Mobius reactor, personal cloaking, a nuke actually, and a couple ghosts. Those will help with the infestors, like, certainly. And even a little bit of positional nuke play might allow him to secure this base, now that he does have a fairly large siege tank count, and a couple Thors to tank here as well.
This is such a key base for BC, just because I have to reiterate again, he's down to essentially 2 gas geysers. He needs this base so badly.
Yeah.
If he can secure this, he may be able to get into a good position, but Dimaga is maxed, BC is at 130 supply.
Yeah. It looks like
nice. Oh, Dimaga.
He has to know, yeah. There are very few opportunities for that nuke to really do a lot of damage.
Yeah.
But again, I mean, BC's gas count right now is ridiculously low, and he's not even close to being maxed at this point.
He's just going Hellions at this point.
Yeah, so these nukes, they really need to do something. If they're not effective, then it's going to take him a long time to get back a unit composition that can actually push aggressively against Dimaga rather than just sit here and try and take the space.
He does have a good army for defending, but we are going to see Dimaga try to push on forward.
Oh,
really.
all of the Vikings get fungled aside for 3. Dimaga pushing forward. So many infested turns.
Seeker missiles does not get the money seeker missiles. One does go off, but not very well. And Dimaga looking like he is poised to take game 1 despite being down so bad.
Ooh, there is no Overseer here, and there is a nuke going down. The infestors look like they... Oh, never mind.
Nicely done, fumbling the ghost.
Yeah. One does remain, however, it's not the one that was positioning the nuke. And that was game 1.
Nicely played there by Dimaga. And yeah, that is why you never count somebody out.